Hey YouTube, I'm gonna do a full self-driving beta 10.8. We got a little bit of a different camera setup here. I've got a wide angle lens at the front of the windshield, and then I've got another camera capturing the screen here. So hopefully this will be a better experience. Let me know what you think in the comments. Just wanted to say quickly before we get started, thank you to all my new subscribers. We've well exceeded that mini goal of 100. I think we're above 120 now, and really just amazed that we've quintupled the size of this channel in just a few short weeks. So really appreciate it. Like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, and let's get it going. So starting it off here, we got pretty good visualizations at nighttime. I always kind of like how the screen looks on dark mode. And the infamous speed bump is coming up. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the speed down to 20, and then when we're through the intersection, I'll bump it down to 15. Hopefully that'll feel a little more comfortable for this first speed bump, because I already know it's gonna take it aggressively. All right, so we'll bump down to 15 here.
In 500 feet, enter the roundabout and take the second exit.
Okay, that felt nice. So put it back up to 20. We're doing the test loop here. I'm gonna attempt to take the visualizations and apply it in kind of like an AR fashion to the real world. A little fast there.
Now enter the roundabout and take the second exit.
Okay, I had to take over there. It's done that a few times where when it goes over the crest of the little hill,
and take the second exit.
It just starts making a beeline for the road, for the sidewalk. Happy to report that there's no snow tonight, so we get no dry wiper noise. It's a big plus.
Now enter the roundabout and take the second exit.
Okay, we stopped a little far back again. We got a dog here and a dog walker. All right, let's go beta. It's gonna go straight into the roundabout / road median. It's more of like a blockade. These are all one-way streets that are coming up on each other, so people don't actually follow it like a roundabout and use it more like just like a road divider, a median. But the car still needs to know to go around it. It's weird that it outlines it fully in red and then creates a path to go through it. I still don't understand that one. I should actually be reporting that each and every time. Okay, so we're at I'm gonna pop off here, get rid of that stop. It's that interface is still a little bit clunky.
Right onto North Ashland Avenue.
I will say. Okay, just going for it. It really slammed on the accelerator. We kind of actually spun out a little bit there. So I'm gonna report that just so they can get a sense for what it did there. One thing I didn't check in advance of this call in advance of this drive, was the battery life on my iPhone that I'm using to record the wide angle lens. So hopefully this doesn't get cut short, but if it does, thanks for joining. Okay, that was really nice, really natural. We're gonna run this red light. Yeah, we ran the light. In Chicago, it's only about 3 seconds of yellow light before turning red. And On 10.3 and 10.4 and 10.5, and then on Navigate on Autopilot City Streets beta before that, it had gotten really good at timing perfectly the lights in Chicago. And there's definitely been a regression on 10.6.1 and then 10.8 on the red lights here. It seems to think it's got 4 to 5 seconds of yellow. Okay. And we started to go through the red arrow light again. We've got this green light here up above, and I think, I don't know, the beta just really seems to think that it can go. But it can't.
Destination is on the right.
Okay, once it stops. I guess I do have to get rid of B for it to keep going.
In 500 feet, turn left onto North Ravenswood Avenue.
Went aggressively through the intersection, but then it stopped again for the double stop sign that we have in Chicago. I would say it's kind of 50-50 on how it behaves there.
Now turn left onto North Ravenswood Avenue.
This one, it's been swinging too far to the left when it takes the turn. Maybe with a car there, it will do better. Nope, I had to disengage. Okay, re-engaging. Maybe. Beta struggled there. I'm gonna record that snapshot.
In 500 feet, turn right onto West Brynmore Avenue.
I've also noticed a regression in the natural language processing, the way that
turn right onto West Brynmore Avenue.
The navigation voice says words. It gets a lot of things wrong that it was getting right before. I don't know if they were using a Google API before and now they're using their own. I'm not quite sure, but it doesn't seem like it's getting as many things correct when it pronounces them. That, I mean, I could be wrong, and that could just be I'm remembering incorrectly, but it feels that way. Okay, a little bit of the double stop again. It took the lead from that car, though, I think, and went through rather aggressively after. Okay, slowing down for this. I bumped down the speed to 25. It's still going super fast. Way too fast. If the road had been any slicker, we would have slid. It went past the biker lane.
In 500 feet, your destination will be on the right.
Okay, and I've got to get out of C. So an exciting Monday for Tesla stock. If you're a Tesla stock investor, you follow the stock market. On Sunday morning, Tesla released its quarterly and annual deliveries. I want to say it was 326 cars delivered, so manufactured and in the hands of customers in Q4 of 2021. And then for the year, I think it was 936,000 cars delivered. So just completely incredible. I think they're an annualized run rate of 1.2 million based on their performance this quarter. So, and that's before Giga Shanghai or before Giga Berlin and Giga Texas have truly come online. they'll probably scale similarly to what Shanghai did, or maybe even faster, with some of the efficiencies or lessons learned that they got from the build out and the scaling of Giga Shanghai. So I think 2022, this year, is just going to be a really exciting year for Tesla. Obviously the stock had a pullback today on Tuesday, but to be expected. I think there's a little bit of, unbridled excitement that first day, people hearing the news over the weekend and acting on it, and then a little bit of a sell the news effect here on Tuesday. Of note, I did notice that Ford had a knockout day. The last time I checked, toward the end of the day, it was like 15% up, and I think it had been another 5% up. Yesterday, I know it hit a 20-year high for its stock. That, while incredible, I think the news came out that Ford was going to produce double the amount of Ford F-150 Lightning trucks. But I will say, I still think Ford, GM, VW, Honda, Toyota, Hyundai, Nissan, Chrysler, Stellantis, I guess, they all really have a big uphill battle. There's a lot of debt on the balance sheet. They've got, dozens of properties and factories and equipment and engineering talent and everyone that's invested in the manufacturing, the production, the design of gasoline powered engines. And they're not that profitable at making those. They have a dealership network, and they've got to move now into this world where they're selling electric vehicles, and I just don't see how they're going to be able to make a profitable EV given all the backlog of debt. And I think a bunch of these companies are going to have to create a division inside of them for their electric vehicles and spin them off of the company, because I really do think Ford and GM and many of these legacy automakers are going out of business. They're fully going to go out of business. So that's my hunch. So I think there's all this excitement about that short-term news, but if you look at the longer-term, mid-term, longer-term picture, Ford's down 6% annualized sales. Yeah, we're in the pandemic, but before that, they were down another, I want to say 9 to 15% from 2019. And it's even worse for GM. I think they were down 15% this year. Is Tesla down? No, Tesla's up 80% over last year.
Turn right.
So just a little bit to consider and take into account.
Destination is on the left.
But we got a little bit of wonky behavior there with the waypoint navigations. So all that to be said, I think Tesla's going to have ups, it's going to have downs. If you're trying to day trade, it's so volatile. You can make it work in your favor, but it's going to be tough. If you're a midterm, long-term investor with Tesla, I think you're going to have a grand slam. Ford, GM, the other automakers, I hope that they make it through. I hope that they are able to ride the wave into the transition into electric vehicles. But I mean, similarly to like Nokia and Motorola and the other legacy phone makers, when the iPhone came out, it changed the game. And I think you do see phones from those folks, but they're not the force that they were. And also, if you go back to like that transition from that disruption of actual physical film from when I was a kid to then a tween and a teen moving to digital photography, everyone thought Kodak and Fujifilm, all these companies, there's no way that they could ever go out of business. They're behemoths, right? Film is always going to be necessary. And, S-rate adoption. A few people were early adopters with digital photography, and it was pretty cruddy. Sony came out with, a commercialized version of the lithium ion cell, and that really changed the game. All of a sudden you could have digital camcorders and digital cameras, and it started getting more sophisticated, and more people started switching over to digital. Word of mouth, hey, these photos are getting pretty good, and then rapid shift away from physical film to digital, and then just destruction of Kodak. There's some really good documentaries out there, just write-ups about case studies, I guess, of Kodak and what they went through. And I think we're having a repeat of that. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot of 20th century tech disrupted by 21st century tech. So I'm hoping that they can ride the wave and get on the other side of this and successfully transition over to fully electric. And, you know, maybe Ford's play or GM's play is to buy Rivian and bankroll them, in addition to kind of the public markets investing in Rivian, because they're going to have a really hard time scaling production. They at least have contracts and supply chain, and they've got the order of, you know,
in 500 feet,
electric buses to be delivered for
destination will be on the right.
For Amazon. So there could be some utility, and it could make Rivian's success more likely if they do have an infusion of
Now
kind of
turn
these
left onto North
older
Broadway.
companies that do have some cash on the balance sheet. But I don't know, it's going to be tough. And Tesla's advantage, you know, not just cars, but solar, home scale utility, energy storage, being able to broker with Powerwall. You've got them scaling up AI efforts with Dojo, and then the full self-driving computer. You've got the Tesla bot, which is on its way. It's definitely coming. It's not real yet, but Tesla has a really good track record of doing what they say they're going to do. So I have pretty full confidence that it might be on more of like a Tesla Roadster type time frame, where maybe it's not in a year or two, maybe it's 8 years. But at some point this decade, we are going to have humanoid robots doing labor replacement jobs. And, you know, if they're affordable, right? If you're a small business, maybe you no longer hire a custodian or cleaning crew. You just have your Tesla bot cleaning all day, every day, constantly stocking the shelves for you. And you can run your business even more lean with less people. It gives more people a chance or incentive to open their own businesses and give it a try. But obviously it's going to displace a lot of workers too over time. I don't think initially. I think we're going to have a similar rate of adoption where initially it's early adopters, the tech gets better and better and better, then you get that S-rate adoption, and maybe by 2032 there's a ton of jobs that have since been replaced by humanoid robots, and maybe there are also quite a bit of individuals and families that have one for themselves. Hey, go pick up the groceries, or you could start a fleet of driverless cars that are also delivering food to people, right? There's just, it opens up this new world of opportunity. So it's going to be a very interesting 20 years, I feel. You look at the pace of innovation and how much things have changed just in 25 years. I feel like this next
In 500 feet, turn
level, this next iteration of disruption and change is going to be even more foundational than the internet was, which is hard to fathom. If you would have told me that in 2010, I would not have believed it. But things are getting pretty futuristic pretty fast, and we're all going to be there to watch it happen. And hopefully, if you're paying attention and investing in the right ways and really valuing the reality of disruptive technologies and new ways of doing things, I think it's going to be a really fun 20 years. So, and I'm hoping it's fun for everyone. I'm hoping that these technologies are kind of that, you know, rising tides lift all ships. I really want to see things improve for everyone, not just those in the know. And these technologies really should help people. So
now your destination is on the left.
well, I don't know how much new really came out of this test loop. I would say the performance was really pretty similar. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, thank you for watching, and hope you all have a great rest of your week. See you in the next video.